Couple of years down the road, you breathe a sigh of relief as your cell phone vibrates almost like in a sensual pattern in
Okay.
your pocket. You pull it out.
What what's a sensual pattern?
A sensual pattern is sort of like, so first of all, this is a few years down the road where like ringtones have made a huge comeback. So
Okay.
when you get, depending upon what your ringtone is, your phone will vibrate sort of in rhythm to it. And so there are some people who they'll have like intricate ones depending upon, like, if it's like a John Coltrane ringtone or whatever, it'll be like, and like it's so, and like when people do that, like there are some people who are like, that those John Coltrane vibrations. I mean, they're just so like self-indulgent. But then there's some people who are like, yeah, but look at what they've done to influence the form. And so, but that's not you really here nor there. So basically, it depending upon your ringtone, it vibrates in a different way. And so your ringtone is that song "Keep It on the Down Low" by
Oh yeah.
R. Kelly. And so it's like
Yeah.
so it vibrates like and you're like, and you kind of like sit there and you kind of just let it go for a few seconds before you take it out of your pocket. R. Kelly's a bad man, but you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You look at
I would feel complicated about that, but I like that it's vibrating, so people might not know that I'm enjoying it.
That's the thing, is that you always tell people, if people call you on it, which isn't necessarily often, but when they do, you go, look, you have to separate the vibrations from the artist. And people are like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess, kind of satisfies most people. The reason that you're so relieved is that you look down at that fucking phone of yours. The call ID, it's just a bright blue L.
Okay.
When you were like
Why am I?
so when you were like 5 years old, you spent a summer at a relative's farm. You've never quite been able to piece together what relative it is or like how you were related to them or what. All you remember is having a summer out there on the farm. And the farm was that was sort of like your first exposure to like like the harsh realities of life, where
Sure.
yeah, these cows are wonderful and I love them, but we do have to kill them, otherwise, we're gonna die. And so that summer, you just remember looking out at just a field of like slaughtered cows, as a voice behind you,
Jesus.
this relative of yours, just going like, "It's them or us, Adam. It's them or us."
Why are they slaughtering cows like that? Like that many?
There was just a maybe there was a big demand for beef that summer. I'm not totally certain, but the
Jesus.
thing that you remember the most, apart from the blood and the screams of the dead animals, is there was a well
That's
in the back of this farm,
okay.
and what you would do every morning at 5:15 on the dot, you'd wake up. Your big thing, like your chore, was to wake up 5:15, go outside, and pull some water out for the day.
Oh, like with a
And you would go
bucket.
out, yeah, the bucket of it, yeah. And so it was a bucket
Yeah.
on like a rope, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
5:15, you would get out of bed, you'd walk across the farm right as about an hour or so before the sun would rise and stuff. So it wasn't like insanely dark. It was starting to lighten up a little, but it was still dark enough that you couldn't see like too far ahead of you. And so
Yeah.
you would walk towards the well, and some mornings it would take you, 2 minutes to get to it, and some mornings it would take you like 35. And you would go there, you would get the water out of that well in that fucking bucket, and right as the sun would rise, you would look down at like that bucket of water, and it was just a very calming, very cool shade of blue.
I do love blue. I love
That
aqueous
L,
blues.
the L on that call ID, it's the exact same shade of blue as that water that you pulled all those many years ago.
Hell yeah.
And the reason that you're relieved is that you saw an ad that was put out, um,
Okay.
in a you were reading this newspaper called Midwest Weekly that pretty much sums up all the events of the Midwest that's going on that week. So the front page of Midwest Weekly, it was like in huge text, and it says Bessie Lou got married.
Is Bessie
And
Lou a
it's
cow or a person?
Bessie Lou is a person, and
Okay.
so she got married. They had a reception at the finest Applebee's of Wisconsin, and so
That fully
you were
tracks.
yeah, so you were reading that and you were like, holy shit! And then below it there was an ad, and it was like, need quick money fast? Call the Lanalax Corporation.
Okay.
We've got money if you can take it. And so you're not really sure what to make of that, but you're like, all right, whatever. Because, you know, you could use a little extra cash these days, especially because you're actually you're trying to save up money for a new computer.
Okay. Did something happen to my old computer?
No, not necessarily. It's just that the thing with you is that you've always viewed yourself as being kind of like a Luddite, you know what I mean? And so the
Yeah.
computer
Yeah.
that you
Totally.
have, like, you know how to use it, but you feel like you're not getting enough out of it, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
so you're like, I need to get a new computer that I can handle. And so this is a computer that is put out by this company called Maximum. Maximum has put
Is
out
like the Apple Corporation mad about that?
no, not
Like
really.
it's not too close.
It's no, it's also because it's kind of a niche thing. You know what I mean? This isn't like a
Yeah.
huge company. MAXXXIMUM,
Three X's.
three X's, three M's. That's Maximum. So their thing is we're putting out a computer for for the guy who doesn't need all this extra stuff. This is a
Oh,
computer for the modern day Luddite.
hell yeah.
Luddites are kind of making a bit of a comeback a few years down the road. There is a big, like, not necessarily a big, but there's a sizable movement in America to kind of go, you know what? You know who never had an Apple TV? Guy named Abraham Lincoln. Look what he did. Pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah.
And so people are, and also, there's concerns about security and shit like that. So there's a kind of
Sure.
a push towards to redefine the modern day Luddite. And so there was a commercial that came out uh, with Harvey Keitel in it, and he's like,
Okay.
hey, if you're anything like me, you don't like using computers. That's why you should use the Maximum. Not
Is he
confusing at all.
Does he appear like as Harvey Keitel, or is he like a character in this?
Oh no, it's Harvey Keitel, baby.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And so so it's the maximum computer that they put out. Um, it's it's sleek, definitely, but it's designed to aesthetically look kind of cool. But it's like the most basic computer that you can have.
So this is like the jitterbug of computers.
Yeah, it's actually called the Bug by Maximum. So it's a computer that is it's like you can either get it in black or you can get it in what what they call Luddite gray.
Ooh. Is that like gunmetal or like just like old photo? Or
It's
like
sort of like it's more like metal colored, yeah, for sure.
metal? Yeah. I
And
think that's
so
probably what I do.
yeah, gray is definitely has been sort of reclaimed by the Luddite community to be like that's sort of
Yeah.
their,
Yeah.
their thing. So it's a computer that, like I said, has just basic shit to it. The way that it you don't even have to plug it in. The way that it works is there's like a wheel attached to it, and you put a hamster in it, and as long as the hamster's running, the computer works. And they're like they have plans to put out one that's based on like water, where you pour water into the wheel and the wheel continues turning. But
Yeah.
to be honest with you, they're like there's a lot of debate in the Maximum company to be like, is that too advanced? So
Oh,
you're kind of stuck
interesting.
with you're kind of stuck with the hamster thing for the time being. But you like needed a little bit of extra cash to buy this thing because
Yeah,
even
totally.
because you it's surprisingly not cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a
Why
status
is it
symbol
so
kind of.
expensive? Okay.
Because it's like
Yeah.
a status symbol. You know what I mean? It's like when you buy a Ferrari, are you buying a Ferrari because you're like, I need to get from point A to point B, or do you buy a Ferrari to be like, you know, I'm hot shit and I fuck.
Yeah. But how do I like if I want to show off this status symbol, like
Yeah.
how does the hamster wheel move with me? Like, do I just have to charge it up and then bring it with me? Or does the hamster stay at home? Or do I have to
No.
bring him along?
Yeah,
All
the
right.
hamster goes with you.
Okay.
And that's like that's why it's sort of seen as like, oh, this is like really, really um like this isn't helping. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah,
actually getting in the
totally.
way. And that's
Yeah.
kind of seen as a pretty baller move in the Luddite community. And
Yeah.
so you're saving up for this computer and you saw an ad from the Lanalax Corporation. And so you look down, you see that blue L that reminds you of that farm and your first introduction to violence.
Yeah.
Do you answer it?
Um,
Even
man,
on the down low is
I
playing in the background.
yeah, I feel like I'd be conflicted both because probably don't want anybody to hear me vibing to R. Kelly, but I also like if I'm walking around like trying to save money for this computer, would like be a little self-conscious about, even pulling the phone out,
For sure.
like if I'm going that direction, I'm probably like rocking a flip phone or at least,
Yeah,
but no, I'd probably answer it though. I'd feel guilty before I did it to like go through
sure.
that trajectory.
You let it play for just a second longer. You answer the phone. They're like, "Hey, Adam, this is Sally from the Lanalax Corporation, and we have an income earning opportunity for you. Do you have a minute?"
Man, I hate sales calls, so I would think about dodging it, but then also I would feel guilty and be like, okay,
So she's like,
sure.
Sally goes on to she's like, "Oh, so I understand that you're trying to according to our files here, save up money for this new computer. Pretty cool.
They know why I'm
Well,
doing this.
she's like, yeah, of course. She goes, all right. So basically, what this thing is, it's sort of like a medical study. Have you ever done one of those before, Adam?
Yeah, actually, I have. I once did one for, it was a weird thing. It was like testing the relationship between alcohol and homosexuality. And
Okay.
you would take like a Likert scale test, and then they got you an undefined amount of drunk to you, and you watched porn. It was real weird. True
So you
story.
say, so you say that to her, and she's like, "Whoa, well, this one won't be quite as intense as that, I'm afraid." Um, Basically, so she goes on to explain that what it is it's a medical study. They are trying to cure type 3 diabetes.
Type 3 diabetes?
She's like, Adam, you don't even want to know what this stuff is.
Jesus.
She goes, it's coming down the line, and we at the Lanalax Corporation, we're looking to stop it. And so basically, all you would do is you come downtown to our offices, and we would do one of those like medical studies. Except instead of beer and gay pornography, what we'll do is basically just kind of give you some cognitive questions uh, and give you $25 gift card to the Darden Family Restaurant Group.
So this sounds pretty good, but like am I supposed to be like a like I don't have type 3 diabetes as far as I know. So am I like helping establish like a control group or something? Like what's
Yeah,
how
basically.
am I helping?
So she's like, well, look, I can't tell you too much detail about it, but basically, what I can, what I'm what I'm authorized to tell you, is that type 3 diabetes is it's not here yet, but it's coming, and we are looking to stop it before it even starts. So yeah, you'd basically be establishing a control group. She
I'm a
goes,
little
yeah,
weirded
the
out that she knows
she goes, yeah,
this.
this the group that you're kind of establishing one is for
Yeah.
the handsome.
So I am I'm very like I guess it would help me out to have $25 so I could like eat at the Darden family like group and like then I could save $25 elsewhere. But I'm like a little freaked out by like why where is type 3 diabetes? I'm like, is it in like monkeys or something? They're like afraid somehow this is gonna transfer over. Like I would ask a lot of questions, I think,
Sure.
about this.
She's
I'm
like,
like strained.
for sure. She's like, yeah, I understand that you have a lot of questions about this. You know, I could have you meet with one of the doctors if you'd like. I mean, I can't answer a lot of these questions scientifically necessarily, but what I can also tell you is that in addition to that $25 gift card to the Darden Family Restaurant Group, we're just gonna buy you that goddamn computer.
Oh wow.
Sorry for saying
Um
goddamn.
no, I appreciate that honest response. I'm excited about that. And yeah, like I think I want to meet with one of the doctors, but I'm open to this because I probably do need this
Yeah.
computer at this point.
She's like,
Yeah.
great. She's like, definitely. How about tomorrow at 10 a.m. I can set up a like a video call.
Oh, cool. So it's like
Does that work?
does my yeah, no. I think that works for me.
She goes, well, if it works for you, it works for us. We'll talk to you in the
All right.
morning, Adam.
Thanks,
Pleasant
Sally.
dreams. She hangs up.
I don't I don't like that.
So you're kind of like, that's fucking weird. Anyway, you go to bed. You dream of a howling void. You wake up the next morning, and you know you have breakfast and kind of get ready for the day. And 10 o'clock on the dot, a you get like a thing on your computer. That computer that every day that you use this computer, I got to be honest with you, it kind of makes you feel it definitely not. I'm not going to say self-loathing, but you're definitely like, I shouldn't be using this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that
Like
is how I feel.
you feel like it's almost tearing you apart on the inside.
Yeah. No, that
So
tracks.
on the computer, 10 o'clock on the dot, FaceTime video call type thing pops up.
Okay.
It's that blue fucking L. What do you do?
Yeah, I think because, well, I want this computer that's going to make me feel less guilty, and B, because I'm going to be soothed by that blue, I'm probably going to like impulse click it.
Sure.
Probably going to take a deep breath first and then like impulse click it.
You take a deep breath. It's actually the deepest breath that you've ever taken in your fucking life. You hold
Okay.
it for just a second. And in that second, you see like an angel.
An angel,
Yeah, just for like just a
like with
second. That's how
wings.
deep. Yeah, that's how deep of a breath that you take that for just a second you feel like you can see into like the next world, you know? But then
Okay. That's
you release the
creepy.
breath. You really
Okay. Okay.
you release the breath and like kind of goes away. And you're like, okay, whatever. You kind of forget about it and you just instinctively
Yeah.
click answer. And on the other side of the call is this scientist looking guy. He's like
What makes him look like a scientist?
he has a lab, one of those lab coat type
Oh,
things.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a stethoscope for some reason.
Yeah.
He's
That's
like
weird.
he's like, "Hey Adam, I understand you wanted to talk to me about type 3 diabetes. I'm actually the guy running this program or this study rather. My name is Dr. Funkenstein. What can I help you with?"
That's awful. Uh, uh, I think like
He's like double gun pointing at you.
uh, Doctor what Funkenstein?
Funkenstein, yes. Oh, what's his first name?
Is
Victor.
it? Yeah, Victor Funkenstein.
He goes, Doctor
Uh,
Victor Funkenstein.
of
No,
course,
I'm not one of those guys. I'm just fucking around.
I appreciate that, Doctor. Uh, so yeah, I was wondering. So Sally told me that, type 3 diabetes is coming down the pipe, and I'm hoping you can tell me a little bit about what that means, and help me understand what it is. Like
He's like,
what
yeah.
makes you feel like this is happening, you know?
So he goes, all right. So I'm not certain what your background is in science necessarily. So, but I'm just gonna go ahead and give you like a layman's term thing if that works for you. Otherwise, huh, otherwise we'll be here all day, you know. Um,
Yeah, totally.
yeah. And then he's like, he goes, so basically, we have done some studies on on the population, the American population, and in layman's terms, people are getting fat as fuck, brother. And so we know that type 3 diabetes is coming. Type 1 diabetes is one that you're born with. Type
Sure.
2 diabetes is something that you have a what do you call it? Like a genetic thing
My
for.
predisposition.
Yeah, like yeah, there you go. He goes, sorry, I haven't had any coffee yet. Huh.
Yeah,
Then he
fair
goes,
enough.
wait a minute. Then suddenly he goes, wait a minute, that's not true. Anyway, so type 2 is the one that you have, yeah, that thing, that word you said, for. And he goes, type 3 diabetes is yeah, for the fat fucks. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so it does. I'd probably ask him like why he's giving me, or his group is giving me like money for the Darden Family Restaurant Group. Because I feel like I love Applebee's, but I feel
Yeah.
like I mean, like that's why I'm going to be fat as fuck, like real soon. Like
Yeah.
I love fried Applebee's food.
Yeah. He's like, well, because here at the Lanalax Corporation, we believe that time is money and money is how you buy delicious food. And that's at Darden, babe. Darden.com. Check it out. He goes, anyway, so we're gonna do this study later. You know, if you want to come in later today, actually, that would actually work out pretty fucking well, dude.
Okay, and these are just questions though.
Right.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what time? I'm
He goes, what are you doing right now?
uh I guess I'd tell him I'm not really doing anything. So I didn't know how long this conversation was gonna last. So
He's like, brother, come on over to Dr. Funkenstein. I'll I'll help you out. Don't worry, man. You're in and out. We're not even gonna like do any needle work or anything. You know, it's just like a cognitive thing.
I mean, it's freaking me out that he's like bringing that up, but
There's
I'd be
absolutely
like,
no razor
yeah,
sharp needles involved.
man,
He goes, no burning secret potions, nothing like that. No
okay.
horrifying electroshock therapy. It's nothing like that. Just a couple of questions for that ass. What do you say?
Uh, I'd probably I'd probably be like, okay, and just to get off the phone, but I'd have to sit there and think about the weirdness of that moment real hard. Um, you know,
Sure.
uh,
He goes, all
yeah,
right, man. See you about an hour. He like hangs up. What do you do?
man, I would probably like walk in the direction of the Lanalax Corporation. Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, he told me where I was going in that time. But I I probably like play that out in my head. I've got a weird thing about needles, and so
Sure.
I would probably just like feel uncomfortable and like listen to music
Sure.
while I walked up there.
So you're walking and you get a text from Victor Funkenstein, and it says, "Okay, address is 666 Needle Avenue. See you soon. Keep on, keep it funky."
Man, do I like what am I doing for work? Like, is there another way for me to get this computer in my life? Like, how am I employed right now?
Um, so you had actually recently lost your job.
God damn.
You were working as a courtroom sketch artist,
Okay.
and you got fired because you would just draw like smiley faces for people and stuff like that. And you tried to argue that like what you were doing is like avant garde courtroom
Yeah.
sketches, but they were not pleased with you, and so
Okay.
yeah, you're not actually working at the moment.
Okay. And I don't have like savings or anything.
Not really, no.
Yeah. I just like been blowing cash. Um, man,
Do you
that
go to six
sucks.
six six Needle Avenue?
Man, I would definitely play out all these like ways that I could get around it, but I'm
Sure,
not. Yeah. I guess I would do this. Like,
yeah,
but I'd be creeped out.
sure. So you turn left onto Needle Avenue, and it's a remarkably well kept street.
Okay.
It actually looks like almost like 1950s America. You know what I mean? Like just that
Yeah.
old sort of thing. So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is interesting. And so you walk down, people are like waving at you and smiling. One guy's like, Adam, as they drive past. You get to the Lanalax Corporation's headquarters, and you go in. You talk to the person at the front desk that you're here for, to do the study, and they're like,
What's their
they
name?
go, um, Sandra Mockingfish.
Hey, I'd thank Sandra for her help, probably.
She's like, no
Um,
problem.
yeah.
She's like, yeah, just she goes, yeah, it's just down that higgity hallway, and points like, away from the desk. So you walk down the hallway, very well lit. It
Okay.
has like a almost like liminal feeling to it, like you
Yeah.
must like you it, as you walk down the hallway of the Lanalax Corporation's headquarters, you feel like you're not certain how else to describe this. You feel like there just were people walking around in here a second ago, and
Okay.
you just happened to walk down there when like everyone was gone. So like
Okay.
recently populated hallway.
Yeah. So sort of like a hospital or something when it's quiet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very hospital esque in that regard. And
Yeah.
so you walk down to Doctor Funkenstein's office, sit down. You walk in. He's playing some Parliament Funkadelic. He's like,
Okay.
"We
Which
want
song?
the funk.
Yeah.
Gotta have the funk. We need the funk." And he's like pointing at himself, double thumbing himself every time the word funk comes up.
So
So
he's like
so
really owning this.
he's yeah, he is very into this. And so you walk in and he just like is immediately like embarrassed, and he like stops the music and he goes, "Oh hey, sorry, I was just doing some yoga. Anyway, you must be Adam. I guess you yeah, well no, we talked earlier, of course. Anyway, thanks for taking part in the study, helping us establish a control base for type 3 diabetes. We appreciate your
Sure.
time, and we're just going to get right to it, okay?"
Okay.
He
Thanks
goes,
for having me.
"Hey, man, thanks for doing it." He's like, "All right,
You?
what is the capital of New York State?"
Albany, I think.
Behind him, there's like, he goes like, ding, 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 ding. There's like a light that like starts going crazy and like flashing on and off as like a ding, 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 ding noise goes. He's like,
Yeah.
"Correctamundo. Uh, what year did Christopher Columbus set sail to discover America?"
1492.
He goes, "Show me 1492. Ding, 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 ding." He goes, "All right. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out." He like hands you a gift card to Darden Family Restaurants,
Okay.
and he goes, "And yeah, they got the computer in the next room for you." He goes, "Thanks for
Okay.
participating in the study, Adam." He looks at you and he goes, "You're a hero."
Oh, thank you. I would feel really weird that he called me that. And I would be like, I'd probably let him know. I'd feel like he wants to believe that. So I'd probably thank him and be like, man, like you're the hero for you know, trying to save people from type 3 diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes like well up with tears, and he goes, "Thanks, man." You walk into the next room where basically there's like a person, a guy standing there with the computer. He's like, "Here you go, man. Uh, thanks for helping out. They gave you that gift card, right?"
He did, yeah.
He's like, "All right, thanks, man."
Do I
He's
need
like,
to sign anything or like you just
"Nope."
okay?
He goes, right this way," and like he like leads you down another one of those kind of liminal hallways. He's like,
Okay.
he goes, "Oh, Darden Family Restaurant Group. Oof, that is my favorite type of restaurant. Love them." He goes, "Man,
Man,
I haven't been
I
to." He goes, "I haven't been to one of those places in a long time."
shit. You know,
Your
I
footsteps
like
echo.
I'm only like I only did this for the computer. I'd probably like, you know, especially after like Dr. Funkenstein made me feel bad about like weight gain. I'd probably just like offer this guy my gift card. You know, I'd be like, hey man, like
Yeah,
I just want the computer. Like, you know, like Do you want this gift card?
And he's like, wow, you mean it?
Yeah, dude. I want I wanted the computer. That's why I got into this, and I got more than I expected out of this deal.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not attached to this gift card. If it makes you happy like that, you should keep it.
Yeah. And so you hand him the gift card, like he reaches for it. For a second, you're reminded of that that painting where it's God and Adam like reaching towards each other,
Uh,
you know?
Creation of man or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He takes the gift card from you and he goes, Adam, this really means a lot.
Cool. What's your name, man?
And you ask him that, and you finally are at the end of the hallway, like the exit is like
Okay.
right next to you. And you ask him that, and the lighting, I guess, is a little bit better because suddenly you notice that this guy is wearing, without a doubt, the sharpest suit that you have ever seen in your fucking life.
Fuck.
Like you look at it, and
Okay.
for a second, you're honestly surprised that there's not like blood in the air based on how fucking sharp that
Jesus.
this guy's rocking, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, that's kind of intense. But and you look up and you forget about the suit because he's easily the baldest man that you have ever seen in your fucking life. The idea of hair on his head is you feel like an insult to God and nature.
Jesus.
He's got deep, piercing blue eyes, like pools of water underneath a layer of ice. And he smiles, and he has several. This is kind of the thing that makes you go like, well, what the fuck is going on? Because he has several rows of like serrated, sharp, like shark's teeth. And he
That
says to you, he goes, "Oh, my name? My name is Ice Bones Jones." And he slashes your throat with.
God damn it.
He actually slashes
Why
your
did he
throat
do that?
with the gift card, and you're like, "Oh!" And and you kind of like fall to the ground. You're like, "Holy fuck!" And then he puts the gift card. He kind of like shakes all the blood off of it
Fuck.
and puts the gift card in the breast pocket of that sharp
He's gonna keep my
ass
gift card?
shark's suit.
Like that's a
And he goes,
liability.
and you kind of look at him, and you're like, you can't talk, but your eyes scream the word "why," and he just goes, "Can't leave any witnesses." He shrugs. The last thing you see before you die is him just crushing that fucking computer.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Is a
with
gerbil in there?
a boot the color of midnight. No, there's no boot, there's no gerbil, but the computer's
Oh,
crushed and you're fucking dead.
Jesus. God damn it. Was there even type 3 diabetes?